Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is WenTao Zhang, and today I will be teaching you the forms and meaning of the regular preterite tense and the forms and meaning of the preterite tense of the notorious CarGarZar verbs. Now, as many of you grammar aficionados will know, the preterite tense is used for past actions that are seen as complete. What this means is that you would use the preterite tense when the action is done, or when it's been completed. So for example, when I say I watched TV yesterday or I played tennis this morning, I am using the preterite tense. It's basically that simple. That's pretty much all the regular preterite tense does. In English, it's an infinitive verb plus the ed. So to conjugate regular preterite verbs, you simply drop the infinitive ending, let it be ar, er, or ir, and add the following endings. So you use the following endings for ar verbs. E for yo, e with an accent, aste for two, o for el, ella, and usted, amos for nosotros, astes with an accent on the I, and aron. And these are all endings that conjugate the AR verbs in the regular preterite tense. For ER, IR verbs, you use the following conjugations. E with an accent on the I for you. Iste, no accents for two. Eo was an accent on the O. Emos. Istes. And hieron. So to familiarize yourself with the concept, let's do a few examples. So here I have three verbs, one AR, one ER, and one IR. They're relatively simple. You should know these from Spanish 1. They are hablar, which means to talk, comer, which means to eat, and vivir, which means to live. So using the AR conjugation from above, we drop the AR ending, and we are left with the stem habl, H-A-B-L, and we simply add each of the following endings on, and we tack it on to the stem. So it's hable with an accent, hablaste, hablo with an accent on the O, hablamos, hablastes, and hablaron. That's it for hablar. Now let's move on to comer. Now we simply do the exact same thing. We drop the ER, so we're left with com, and we tack on these endings. So it's comi with an accent on the I, comiste, no accents, comio with an accent on the O, comimos, comistes, and comieron. That's it for comer. Next, we do vivir, which means to live. As you may realize from above, the ER and IR verbs in the regular preterite tense have the same kind of conjugations. So, once again, we drop the IR and we are left with viv, vivi, with an accent on the I, viviste, vivio, with an accent on the O, vivimos, vivistes, and vivieron. Alright, that wasn't too hard. Next, we're going to talk about some exceptions to the regular preterite tense. We're not into irregular preterite tense yet, but we're going to cover a few specific series, specific series of verbs known as CarGarZar verbs. So, in order to preserve the flow of the infinitive, a number of verbs, that is, the CarGarZar verbs, change orthographically, which means in terms of spelling in the preterite tense. These changes for the CarGarZar verbs occur only in the yo form, so do keep that in mind. Here I have listed the changes that occur for the CarGarZar verbs in the yo form. So verbs that end in gar, such as hugar, change from g to gu. Verbs that end in a car change from C to QU. So an example of a car verb would be something like buscar. And zar verb change from Z to C. And an example of a zar verb would be almorzar. So for example, I'm going to conjugate a gar verb for you. So for example, for example, if I wanted to conjugate the verb I played, I wouldn't write yo hu ge like that, as I would do according to the general rules for AR conjugations. Instead, since this is a gar verb, I would change hugar to huege because it's hug, and you change the G to GU. So you add a U, and you still add the E, and tack on the accent. And you do the same for verbs like buscar, which changes to yo busque, and almorzar, which changes to yo almorce. Thank you for watching. This is WenTao Zhang, Spanish 2. Thank you.